What's going on, guys? It's your boy Rico Tav. Thoughts and vlogs, that's what Tav stands for. So today, I just want to talk about what is the reason why we do shadowboxing and how much of a powerful tool shadowboxing is. So how do you shadowbox? So shadowboxing is kind of like you using your imagination and you're fighting an imaginary opponent, okay? But you're going through all of the stuff that your coach taught you, whether it's your stance, it definitely better be your stance actually. So it's your stance, the way that you stand, the way that you would move, okay? Your hand position. And then you're like, okay, cool. Who am I fighting today? I'm gonna fight a taller person. So all of the stuff and all of the data that you've collected from your coach or your experience from boxing or in the ring or whatever it is, okay? You're going to just kind of go through the motions and do all of the stuff what you would do, what you normally do when you're fighting a tall person. So if that's high guard, making yourself small, you know, you want to be more on the front foot, because if someone's taller than you and they're trying to keep you at range, so then you need to be on the front foot. But you need to be on the front foot moving your head, do you know what I mean? Because if you go on the front foot with your head straight in the middle, you're going to walk into a punch. So you're battling an imaginary opponent, okay? Doing all of the things that your coach would have told you to do whenever you're sparring or fighting a taller person, for example. Okay, so it is like almost like a mind exercise where you're simulating what you would do. That is how you shadowbox, okay? That is the mindset and the approach behind how you shadowbox. Now, when you're shadowboxing, one of the best things to do is do it facing the mirror. Especially when you're starting off, or actually forever, because at least when you're shadowboxing, you can see the openings, you can see how you stand, how your head moves. Are you leaning forward? Are you leaning to the side? Like, you can correct yourself, do you know what I mean? And also when the coach is telling you hands up, you can actually see what they're telling you, because a lot of the times when you're in the ring, okay, and your coach is saying hands up, and in your brain you're like, no coach, my hands is up. Like, what are you talking, my hands is up? But it's just not up. Like, you feel it's up, but it's not up. Do you know what I mean? It's up, but it's not up. It needs to be up. You know what I mean? So when your coach, so if your coach is watching you shadowbox and you're in the mirror, then he says, no, bring your hands up. You're like, oh, yeah, you're right, coach. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people, when the coach is coaching, trying to tell them what to do, they're like, it is. It's like, who the hell are you talking to? I wouldn't be talking if, I wouldn't be telling you if it was. If it was, I wouldn't be telling you. Shut up and put your hands up. You know what I mean? Anyway. So yeah, do it using the mirror. The mirror is one of the most important tools because it's your reflection. You can see you, and if you can see how you would hit you, then you need to fix it. Also, it's good for conditioning, you know, like when you're punching and you're moving and you're moving and you're punching and you're doing it correctly because you're doing it in the mirror and you're going over it, because you're repetitiously doing it, you're conditioning all of the boxing and punching muscles, whether it's the feet, whether it's the head movement, that's the core, do you know what I mean? Whether it's the legs, because you're throwing the punches properly, do you know what I mean? So it's good conditioning, especially if you're going to do it for 5, 6, 7 rounds, you know what I mean? So not only is it a good exercise for cardio and stuff like that, and conditioning the muscles to repetitiously punch, but it's also a good exercise for the mind in the sense of, you know, the mind-muscle connection and muscle memory, do you know what I mean? Because, you know, you want to do these things repetitiously. It's all about the reps, okay? How many jabs have you thrown? How many crosses have you thrown? The more you do it, the better it is, especially if you're practicing perfectly, okay? It's not just about practice, it's about the perfect practice. So make sure, you know, you're correcting and you're looking and you're making sure that your chin is tucked behind your shoulder and all the other good stuff, do you know what I mean? And whether you're punching to the head or punching to the body, you make sure your head is in the right position, your feet is in the right position, you're not losing balance. So you're repetitiously going all over those punches, all the punches, all the movements, all the positions, do you know what I mean? You're repetitiously doing it, so when you do get into a spar or a fight, you'll be that much more sharper, do you know what I mean? It's like you're sharpening your saw, do you know what I mean? You're sharpening your blade. And there's so many different theories on how you're supposed to, the tempo and the intensity that you're supposed to shadowbox. I personally believe you shadowbox to the same intensity as you fight, as you would spar, do you know what I mean? Now, let's say the first couple of rounds, you're just kind of going over some things, you're just kind of going over some things and you're working some things out, but the actual rounds that you're going to be doing, okay, I would like it to almost mimic the same intensity and the energy that you would do if you was in a fight. Same way that you should approach the bag work. When you're on the bag, you should be hitting the bag and moving and even feinting, doing everything. The bag shouldn't be a bag to you. The bag should literally be a person. Like the bag work is almost like the same approach as shadowboxing, but the difference is you get to hit something. That's how the bag should be treated. Because if you're treating the bag like you're not hitting the bag properly. Do you know what I mean? That's not how you're supposed to be working the bag. You're supposed to be working the bag with intent. Do you know what I mean? Like that is a fight. That is life or death. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to lose to the bag. If you lose to the bag, then you're in the wrong spot. You know. But listen, shadowboxing is one of the most powerful tools, and you know what I mean, in regards to, you know, muscle memory, in regards to fitness, in regards to repetition of the continuous punching, in regards to form and stance and balance correction. You know, like let's say if you throw a cross and you're losing balance, then you know what you got to do with your feet to keep throwing the cross, so you fixed it. Then you move on to the bag, then you move on to the pads, then you move on to a person. Do you know what I mean? And that like that. So shadowboxing is one of the most important tools, and if your coach isn't letting you shadowbox, I don't know what your coach is doing. Your coach ain't coaching if he's not letting you shadowbox. Do you know what I mean? If you're just kind of warming up and doing pads and bags and then circuit, that's a fitness class. That's a fitness class. You're not learning to box nothing, really. You know what I mean? And I ain't downplaying or talking bad about any coaches. I'm just saying, like, there's ways that stuff has been done. Success, and all the successful boxers, they do this, they have done this, and success leaves clues. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, guys. We need to roll with it. We need to roll with it. Do you know what I mean? And but listen, I'm signing the video off here. It's Rico. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, you know, share the video. Make sure you share the video. And yeah, that's it. Peace out.